Hey everybody, Fatine here, and I am putting on my For My Canada election time hat. Can you guys believe this? Well, actually, I think we can all believe it because the news has been talking about it for so long, but we are literally most likely a couple days away, maybe if we're lucky, a week to a week and a half away from a federal election call all over Canada. Candidates have been getting their campaign offices ready, getting their signage ready. There have even been campaign kickoff rallies that have been happening, and the major political party leaders are also traveling all across Canada. And Justin Trudeau is making tons of spending announcements. So all of this points to an election any day. Your guess is as good as mine, but there are probably a few factors that will determine the exact call day. One is the Nova Scotia election. Buzz on the ground in Ottawa is that the prime minister is going to wait until after the Nova Scotia election to actually call the federal election, which means the federal election campaign time will probably be quite short. Could be just a few weeks, as a matter of fact, because as we project possibly going into the fall, possible, pandemic things that are being dealt with by provincial governments, it's very likely that this election is going to be a very short election. And also the other factor is Jody Wilson-Raybould. I'm sure it's going to be a crashing reveal. Is going to be her book is going to be, it's called Indian in the Cabinet, is going to be unveiled this fall. And so many people who are just watching the details are thinking that Justin Trudeau is probably going to want to have an election before Jody Wilson-Raybould's book comes out. So anyway, all that points to the reality that we're probably looking at an election here super, super fast. So what have we been doing here at For My Canada? We've been working with like-minded organizations from all across the nation. We love team. We love unity. We love synergy. We love nice. We love honor, those types of things. And so we look for opportunities to work together with other organizations that are like-minded on several of the issues that we care about. No organization is going to be exactly identical. So we're just coming together on the things that we agree on. And that's that it is important to get great candidates elected, people who are pro-freedom of conscience on important issues like doctor conscience rights, parental rights, people who, I know many of you are very concerned about the life issue. So we're always looking for pro-life candidates. That's usually a litmus test on how a candidate will be on some of the other key issues, people that are pro-fiscal stewardship, that want to get our books in order as a nation, pro-industry, which most members of parliament would be in that category, but also people who are pro-faith friendly as well, that they're not into this cancel culture dynamic. They appreciate the fact that people want to have the freedom to worship. So in the way that they feel fit. So anyway, so these are the types of candidates that we are looking for. Now, I want to speak to the elephant in the room right out of the gate, because we're already getting emails. I'm already getting messages like, Fatine, there's no good option. And I want to say you're right. There actually is no really good option in this upcoming election if those are the issues that you care about. We don't have one single leader, for example, on the life issue. We don't have a single leader in any of the parties that have seats. That's an important thing. I want to make sure I get that in there, that have seats in the House of Commons that are pro-life. We do know that the Conservative Party will allow a free vote on that issue. Some of the other parties might allow a free vote here and there. We don't know. It's usually case by case. But if these are the types of issues you care about, there really isn't an awesome option of parties who already have seats in the House of Commons that you can just get behind and say, this is the party that I want to support. However, there are incredible candidates, and we are in an imperfect political situation right now. I'm not going to lie. And it's going to be messy, most likely. And I hope not, but it could be a little bit bitey. So I want to say right out of the gates, let's just choose in this election to be nice, to keep our love on. If somebody disagrees with how we're voting, it's okay. You can work on them. You can share your viewpoints. Of course, this is a democracy, but let's show respect and kindness if you have a different opinion than the person next to you, or if you have a different approach, because even within the faith community, there are going to be different approaches in this election. And we just have to respect and trust that each person is doing and each organization is doing what they believe is the best thing to do in light of the current dynamics. So the approach that we are planning on taking here at For My Canada is the same approach we took in the last election, which is a candidate approach. We're not getting behind any one party unilaterally. We are literally looking at this case by case and riding right by riding. And there are two things that we're looking for. The two things that we're looking for are who are the people that reflect our values, or the values that our network, those that follow us, really care about, and who are the people that are in the tightest races, like the ones where if we mobilized 5 volunteers into that particular campaign, it would make a huge difference. A good example in the last federal election, Harold Albrecht, I met with Harold several times in the House of Commons, an amazing individual on all the issues, a very strong voice on the issue of combating suicide, youth suicide, a strong voice on conscience rights. He was just amazing. And in the last federal election, even though he had been a member of parliament for, I think, 2 or 3 terms at that point, he lost by 273 votes. Well, in that was a huge loss, not just to his caucus, but I would say to Canada and to Parliament as a whole, because of how strong of a voice he was on important issues. And so 273 votes, you guys, one volunteer, one person like you committed to getting behind him in his campaign could have made a massive, massive difference. Well, you might be watching this thinking like, well, I didn't live in, I live in BC, or I live in Newfoundland, Labrador. How could I have volunteered in Harold's riding? Well, actually, in this day and age of virtual campaigning and phone calling, you actually could have, I actually could have volunteered in Harold's campaign from anywhere in the nation by just getting on his call team, because you can do that from anywhere in Canada. And so, okay, guys, this is what we're going to be doing. We're going to be giving you an opportunity. This is how we feel to serve our network in this season, to get behind a candidate that falls into those 2 categories. Number 1, they're a great candidate on the values that we care about. And number 2, they are in a fight. And so they need your help. They need our help. And if just a few of us got involved, like in Harold's campaign, it could literally shift the game and have another great voice in the House of Commons, another vote, another person able to table bills, whether it's government or private members' bills, on important issues that we care about. So that is the best use of your time. The best use of your time in this upcoming federal election is volunteering in one of these types of campaigns. But how are you going to find out who those people are? Well, I have good news for you. We are going to do the work for you. We're doing the research right now. It's going to be evolving research, because as the polls come in, we're going to see certain races that maybe weren't tight at the beginning that become tight. And we're going to want to put people into those campaigns. And we are literally looking riding by riding. So this is the deal. If you want to make a difference in this upcoming federal election, which I sure hope you do, because the stakes possibly have never been higher in the nation of Canada than they are in this window of our history. And so we need to get involved. I lost in the last campaign that I did was actually my own last fall. And I lost by only 86 votes. Now, it was a nomination campaign. There was about 900 people that voted, but only 86 votes. Now, that's just a few more committed volunteers, and I would be on the ballot today. Well, I'm happy to be here serving you. I'm happy to be doing whatever I can to serve our great nation. But just to say this, to put it in perspective, you guys, you really can make a difference as you get involved. So let's get involved. Let's do this. Okay. So what do you got to do? All you need to do is go to formycanada.ca. There is a real simple, very simple, it'll probably take you 30 seconds. If you have autofill, definitely only 30 seconds to fill out, maybe 60. I don't know. Depends how fast you are. And this will enable us to know, number 1, are you willing to volunteer for a candidate who is local that falls in those 2 categories? They're a great candidate and they're in a tight race. And if you are, you check that off. We're going to be in touch with you, and we're going to help mobilize you in the most impactful way that you can possibly serve right there on the ground in your local riding. And the great thing is you're going to be making relationships with people that are right there in your community or close to your community, and also building relationship with hopefully your future member of parliament. Now, if you are in a situation where that is not the case, where you do not have a great candidate close to you, within range of you, that needs help. right? So you may not have a good candidate close to you, or you may not have a good candidate that needs help. Perhaps your candidate is going to win by 80%, and really volunteering in their campaign is a great thing because you can build relationship, but you're not really going to make a difference in the same way that you would make a difference in a campaign like Harold Albrecht's campaign, where he lost by 273 votes. So if that's the situation, you can go on that volunteer form and you can just check off that you want to help out remotely. And we're calling this the National Election Air Force Team, where you can help out remotely from anywhere in Canada. And you can do phone calls for a great candidate who is in the fight of their life in this upcoming federal election, or this current federal election, depending on when you're watching this. And you can make calls and make a really big difference. As a matter of fact, I did that recently for a friend of mine in a nomination campaign. I spent hours on the phones, and the very last person that voted in that campaign was because of a phone call that I made. It was so much fun. We got her in the door at the 11th hour, and she was able to cast her vote for a great candidate. So you can make a difference even if you're not in the riding. And so please share this video with your friends. Share this with people that are like, maybe they're disillusioned with the process. Maybe they don't know where to start. Maybe they're not disillusioned, but they're on fire. They want to get involved right where they are. Just encourage them to watch this video. Click on that link on the For My Canada site. I'll also put it in the description here once it's ready, and get them to sign up along with you to be a volunteer. And I want to say this, it can be a lot of fun, and you can have a great impact. And if you go with a spirit of love and joy and compassion, honestly, you could possibly impact some people's lives forever, right? So that's a great opportunity. Great things move at the speed of relationship. Now, some people are asking me, Faitine, how are you going to vote in this upcoming election? Well, I'm lucky because I have it super easy. I have a candidate that actually fits both of those categories. I'm in Rob Moore's riding. He's the critic for justice in this last session, and he has voted in a way that I feel great about on every single major important issue, even the controversial ones. He's been incredible, and he's also in a swing riding. So hey guys, if you want to come hang out with us, we can go and help Rob and make sure that he gets elected by a great margin, because he's a great guy. He's got a great track record, and he's in a swing riding. And those are the people that you want to really get behind to make a big difference. Obviously pray, but don't pray only. One thing I've found is that if you get involved in a campaign and you're a person of prayer, you will pray because you have an opportunity to prayer walk your entire neighborhood as you're doing door knocking. If you're volunteering locally, and you can pray for people as you're calling on that call list as well, which is amazing. When else do you get an opportunity to pray through an entire neighborhood, name by name and family by family? And so this is an incredible opportunity. So I want to encourage you guys to get involved, bring your friends with you. Let's have a lot of fun, and let's make a great impact on this election. This might not be the game changer election. This might not be the election that changes everything in a minute, but I'll tell you what will change everything. It's when people like you who love Canada simply engage with the process, that you don't clock out, that you don't spoil your vote, that you stay engaged in meaningful ways, because nations truly are changed through those and by those that are engaged and involved for the long haul. So thanks for watching, you guys. Get on the For My Canada email list if you're not already on it, and you'll get everything that you need to know. And you'll either be hearing from us, one of our team members, or maybe somebody from Right Now, or from the National Leadership Briefing, or one of the other affiliated organizations, to get your skis pointed in the right direction. Okay, y'all, let's do this.